Hi, football fans. You're welcome to another exciting edition of the futbolD'moore podcast. We're back to talk football once again. And today we'll look at, the first weekend of the new English Premier League season. And to talk football with me today, I have Bayo in the studio with me. Bayo, you're welcome to the futbolD'moore podcast.
Of course, it's a pleasure to be here. I'm sincerely delighted.
All right, so Bayo, let's look at the last week. There are plenty of talking points when it comes to the first week of action. The English Premier League. Let's look at the big one. Manchester United lost to Arsenal, first match of the season. Arsenal, another set piece goal. They defeated Manchester United. Let's take a look at Manchester United. Do you think anything has changed?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot has changed. As a matter of fact, I think I'm impressed with Manchester United for the first time in a very long while. Playing pattern, the structure, um, the style, and technically looking at what the coach is trying to do. Now I can
Or you
understand.
think you have an understanding of what Amorim is trying to do with that team?
Absolutely. Initially, all through last season, since he took over, I feel or I felt he was experimenting. I wasn't really sure what he has and what he's trying to do. But I saw a few games during the preseason, and I got the pattern clearly against Arsenal. Despite the fact that Arsenal won, you could see that United played, from the back directly, offensively, and I think the new additions, Belmo,
I was going to ask you the new signing.
certainly. I think I'm delighted with the playing pattern. If they would keep up this way,
With what
something
you
will come this
saw,
season.
with what you saw on Sunday, any missing piece that you think that United must quickly address?
I think it's definitely should be the defensive midfield position.
Okay,
You could see Casemiro.
he struggled at some
Yeah,
point.
man is of age,
Yeah.
obviously. Mani Lugatti, yeah, fantastic lad, but I think he's still struggling with the Premier League presence.
Pace and
Yeah,
physicality of
is
the game.
not that Premier League proven midfielder. And in the last couple of weeks, United actually wanted to, bring on board Baleba, of which Brighton, you know,
They
said,
decided to do
yeah,
big business.
if
They
you want,
want him pay big.
if you want to buy him, you have to break the bank. And United would not pay that much, for Baleba. So I feel there should be an alternative. He's not the only available player, in the transfer market. So I feel if United will get that sorted, season is going to be good. And the number 9 position,
Yeah.
thankfully Benjamin Sheshko is on board now. He started from the bench. I want to see the next game, and I want to see him starting. If he starts
Okay.
every game for Manchester United, that boy,
You think he will score goals?
that boy is a lot. He's a
All
lot.
right. Let's look at Arsenal. A lot of people said, "Oh, same of same, nothing changed," and Arsenal just waited for the set piece, took the advantage, and then decided to park the bus. But Arsenal have decided to add another player, Eberechi Eze, all but done. Do you think Eze would come into the Arsenal squad with something different?
Yeah, Eze is a fantastic lad, no doubt. A ball carrier, a quite skillful, strong, technical too. England international, we should not forget that.
Yeah.
And I think he will definitely had something very meaningful to the Arsenal side. But then I'm looking at Arsenal's struggles coming from the middle of the park.
Okay.
Odegaard is an offensive player. They allowed Thomas Partey leave,
Leave.
and they brought in Christian Nogard, who for me will not fit in perfectly or to replace. I do not see him as someone that will replace directly Thomas Partey. Declan Rice would need to move forward, but who covers? While Rice and Odegaard
You feel
are going
Zubimendi
forward.
cannot do the job?
I would have mentioned Zubimendi, but first season in the Premier League, he's bound to struggle. Yeah, fantastic, guy. He has what it takes, but it will take him a couple of months, for him to get. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. We'll wait to see how it goes. Another weekend is upon us, and wait to see some more exciting football from England. Now, let's talk about Mo Salah. There's no way you talk about English football right now and not talk about Mohamed Salah. Earlier in the week, he won it all when it comes to the PFA Gala night. Do you think the accolades puts him right there at the center of this year's African Footballer of the Year discussion?
Yeah, I think so. Even before the awards, I think it has to be between Mo Salah and Ashraf Hakimi.
Okay.
Personally, for
Your
me,
opinion?
yeah, personally for me,
Okay.
because Hakimi had a very fantastic year.
With
We
PSG.
can go on and on from the League On to the Champions League, got to the final of the Club World Cup, won the Super Cup at the expense of Tottenham. And you look at his contribution to his national team as well. You can't really take that away. And he's not just a member of the PSG squad. He's
Mm,
an integral part of,
part of the
the
team.
team.
Yeah.
And for Musala, league winner, Liverpool, shattered all available records they set. At this time around, more accolades coming on. If Musala should get to win the African Footballer of the Year, yeah, well deserved. And if it goes to Hakimi, well deserved.
Okay, so you feel both players actually have the right to say, okay, I deserve it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, we wait to see how that pans out. I'm happy that we have two North Africans now front runners,
Yeah.
because the last time out when Ademola Lookman took it, we saw how the whole of North Africa felt that it should have been Hakimi. Now Salah against Hakimi, we'll see how it goes. Now, when it comes to the Premier League, we've seen the first week of action. I'd like you to, give, maybe speak into the future. Have you seen any team that you think we should look out for so far from, the first week?
Okay, from the top teams,
Mm.
I think Manchester United have a point to prove.
Manchester United.
Yeah.
Someone came in here last week and said Manchester United will not make top four.
Well, he would definitely have his own reasons for saying that.
Okay.
But then, even prior to the Arsenal game, I was saying United would finish in the top 7. But after seeing that Man United
That's
versus
just the
Arsenal
first.
game, yeah, you see, it is football.
Yeah.
Very dynamic, and if injury permits these players to go on and on, don't forget injury is part of the game.
Exactly.
Players will get injured. Teams will lose their top players, and I feel if United will continue this way, yeah, they have a point to prove this
So we
season.
should watch out for Manchester
Apart
United.
from Manchester United,
Okay.
from the teams that got promotion newly, I think Sunderland is that team. We are not looking at them. They won 3-0 against West Ham United, and they did some decent business in the transfer window too.
But some have said beating West Ham is normal.
Well,
Considering the kind of summer West Ham had, come on, beating them isn't a big deal.
thankfully, it's just match day 1.
Okay.
We head into match day 2, and by match day 10, we will be able to ascertain and define these teams, based on strength and weaknesses.
Okay, now, since you said Manchester United and Southampton, I want you to give Sunderland rather. I want you to give us a prediction of your own top 4. Your own top 4. I'm putting you on the spot, anyways.
That's great. Honestly, I've not thought of this, but I feel the league champion would be between Liverpool and Arsenal.
We seem to not be talking about Manchester City.
You know why I am not giving City the chance?
Yeah.
I saw their game too. They won 4-0 against Burnley, and they've got a decent addition in Tijani Reinders, who came in from AC Milan. But I sincerely feel Arsenal, second position in the last 3 seasons.
Yeah.
I mentioned Liverpool. You can't take anything away from a team that is defending the title, and they've started well, won their first game. So I feel City would come behind these two teams, and then on number 4 for me, I want to see a Chelsea, because a lot of money spent in the market. Why United will come?
Oh, okay. So you're taking United out of the top 4. So
Absolutely.
okay. So we wait to see. I feel like a part of me feel like United will just sneak into that top 4. But let's wait and see how it goes. Now, let's now look at the clubs generally. They are still signing players. Arsenal did a very big one in less than 24 hours. We heard the news about Eberechi Eze. They got the deal done, snatched him from Tottenham Hotspur, who we thought would get the deal done. So far, look at the big boys in England. Who has impressed you the most this season when it comes to the transfer window? So far?
So far, I'll still stay with Manchester United. You know why? I think the coach has gone for players in the position that need some cover.
Okay.
For instance, United struggled to score, from the number 9 position last season. Benjamin Sesko has come on board, 22-year-old from RB Leipzig. And I talked about what Ruben Amorim is trying to do, 3 at the back, a style of play. And they needed someone in the mode of Mbeumo and Cunha. Cunha, a driver, Mbeumo very physical and strong. And it's played out in the game against Arsenal. So I think United have really done a lot of good investments in the transfer window. But then I will not rule out Liverpool, or I won't take out Liverpool too, because I saw Hugo Ekitike in the Community Shield.
Yeah.
I saw him in the first game, and I think this guy to is a massive addition to the Reds. So Liverpool, Manchester United for me, and then Ebere is coming to Arsenal. That's I didn't see it coming honestly, and that's massive.
Someone said Arsenal, that Arsenal side, they are trying to buy the league because it seems like, okay, we need this person. Don't worry, we'll get the person. And they've been doing that all summer long. Do you think that it won't, at the long run, hurt Arteta? Because when you have too much options, you may just get confused.
Yeah, but then if the news are anything to go by, Gabriel Martinelli is expected to move to Saudi Arabia. There's a big money offer on the ground according to sources. So it means Ebere, Leandro Trossard have it locked down. Trossard, of course, a fringe player, so to say.
Exactly.
So Eze expected to be a starter. Number 9, Gyökeres, who came in from Portugal, from Sporting, expected to be the number 9. And luckily, Kai Havertz, who might confuse Arteta, is injured. So I feel he has a lot of players.
I told some Arsenal fans that you guys are really praying hard because last weekend Arteta at some point was saying, well, it is between Havertz and Gyökeres, and now Havertz is out for some months. So for Arsenal fans, God, the answer on our prayer. Anyways, we move on. For Liverpool, it was as if they just killed that Crystal Palace order. Do you think something is missing? There are Liverpool fans who feel like something is actually missing. Do you think so?
I really do not think so. If there's any department to strengthen, maybe one more body in the art of the defense. They've been on McVay in the last few weeks. I really hope they can get that tied down. He needs to complement Virgil van Dijk in that art. They've brought in Florian Wirtz for a record-breaking transfer fee. Brought in Ekitike, brought in Frimpong. There's a guy that came in from the Serie A, one young guy. And I think if you look at Arne Slot's first season, he did no business and won the league. So it feels these players, these are the additions I think I need, and I have what it takes to win the league.
All right, we'll wait to see how it all pans out. Now, before we call this a day, let's look at Chelsea. They didn't start too good. They didn't start too good, and some of their fans are actually worried. They want Xavi Simons to come in. They want Garnacho to come in. Do you think Chelsea should go ahead with these two players? Do you think there's any reason to worry?
Chelsea is a team you really cannot bet against. Champions of the world, let's not forget that. And look at the caliber of players that did that job.
Okay.
At the Club World Cup in America. Chelsea, have managed to retain majority of those players. Those they are allowing to move are the fringe players that are not part of the setup for Enzo Maresca. So I feel nothing to worry about. Yeah, Crystal Palace very strong side. Chelsea will bounce back. They've got all departments on lockdown, and the moment they begin to show flashes of what they can do, the world will be surprised.
All right, we can't end this without talking about Alexander Isak and the Newcastle situation. We have a similar situation in Italy. Ademola Lookman, Atalanta. Players having these verbal agreements with clubs, not documented, and then they get to that stage of, I want to leave, and then these clubs will begin to say, okay, I don't want to sell you to a direct rival. What do you say to this, for Isak especially?
He has to understand the fact that he's still contracted to Newcastle United. A verbal agreement is not documented. If he wants to leave, I think he needs to play his way into the good books of the management of Newcastle. The club made it very clear, okay, we want to sell you, but we value you as £150 million. If no club, but in today's market, if you want to get your top target, you have to spend. Even if you're not spending up to £150 million, if Liverpool comes up with something around 130 plus maybe a player that is surplus to requirements, who goes to the other direction on loan, definitely Newcastle will definitely.
But there are football fans who say footballers get greedy. Once they get comfortable, they've made their points, they want more money, they just say, okay, I'm tired, I want to leave. Do you see any part of it being greed or just ambition?
Well, it's just business. The footballer wants to do business. The management of the team wants to do business. Splashed in the cash to get acquire your services at the point that you're at your peak, and they still want to get more from you. You want to move. It takes the grace of God if that is existing in business.
In football.
For a management team to say, okay, you want to go, we'll allow you, and they tend to hold on that. But in this era, it's always difficult. It happened with Osimhen, Lookman Ademola, Alexander Isak. Players have had to force their move out of the respective clubs. It's not just happening. So I think
Gyökeres did the same.
you just have to balance it. Be on the good book of your owners, so they
So
allow
when
you
it's
go.
time, they'll just allow you go. For
Absolutely.
Ademola Lookman, is returned to he's returned to training. He has to train as apart for some weeks. We wait to see how it all pans out. What do you think the likely solution would be when it comes to Ademola Lookman? Will he play another season at Atalanta, or he should just look for something else?
Why I'm surprised is the fact that other teams are not even coming, for his signature. Yeah, Inter Milan tried.
They tried.
We're not selling to a direct rival. But what happens to the big teams in other leagues?
Way cheaper than Onimadueke.
Absolutely, and it would have been a good bargain if anyone comes for Lookman, but they say differently. I know you would get to play for Atalanta again.
Is the African factor part of it?
I don't think so. Gyökeres is not an African. He also had to post the move. Isak is not an African.
But offers were coming for Gyökeres. A lot of people are surprised. Ademola Lookman, current African footballer of the year, it's not as if he didn't prove himself. So
maybe realities and priorities are different. You really cannot compare Gyökeres to Ademola Lookman.
Exactly.
We're talking about man who shattered so many records in the sport. Yeah, I understand reigning African footballer of the year, but what I want is not what you want. Simple.
All right. So guys, that's it. We'll call it a day on the futbolD'moore podcast. Join us some other time for another exciting edition.